Welcome, everyone. I am Maureen Beauregard, President of Families in Transition New Horizons, and I'd like to welcome you to the Manchester Recovery and Treatment Center. On behalf of the Manchester Condo Association, we are so happy that you chose to come and hear about this fabulous collaboration and to also take a tour. I can see that there are folks who've been in Manchester for a really long time, and I'm really excited for you to go in and see what we've been able to do with this building that was kind of run down and has been renewed for a very important purpose. So I'm curious about what you think, so. There are a couple people that I absolutely want to call out. Andy Cruz, he was scheduled to be here, but I don't see him, and Dick Anagnost. Andy and Dick had the foresight to purchase this building and then to hold on to it. That is something that as a not-for-profit is hard to do. How do you raise the money and then just hold on to something in the hopes that maybe you'll get all the funding that you need to get it done? And they both jumped into it, for better or worse, Dick, and fought and really helped to make it the success that it is today. It was really clear to both you and Andy that we had a crisis and that we needed to do something about it. And honestly, this was an affair of the heart, this project. We know that the epidemic has hit most of us. I know my family alone, I've lost 2 people to drug overdoses, one being my nephew. And it's very, very painful. So I couldn't be happier to be standing up here to be welcoming you to such a progressive and wonderful project. And Dick Anagnost, you are just a love, and I can't express to you enough not only what you and Andy did here, but what you have done for Families in Transition New Horizons and me personally over all these years. We have a full program, and I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to welcome up our first speaker. And the way it's going to go is that the speaker is going to come up, and then that person will invite up the next person, and that person will invite up the next person. I hope that's good enough instruction. With that, the next person really needs no introduction. You know, Joyce Craig has been absolutely a big supporter of Families in Transition New Horizons. There is definitely a lot going on in the city in regards to the homeless, and Mayor Craig has really stepped up to the plate, she and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. So with that, I would like to invite up Mayor Craig.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you to officially open the Manchester Recovery and Treatment Center. This is a great example of what can be accomplished when private organizations, community leaders like Dick and Andy, public officials like Executive Counselor and former Mayor Ted Gatsas, School Board Member and former Alderman Pat Long, who are with us today, and individuals work together toward a common goal and vision. The result is an innovative approach to addressing substance use and mental health disorders, with this first of its kind facility right in the heart of Manchester. We now have under one roof 4 critical services offering complete wraparound care to help individuals find and sustain recovery. Thanks to Hope for New Hampshire Recovery, Families in Transition New Horizons, the Mental Health Center of Greater Manchester, and the Catholic Medical Center's Wilson Street Integrated Health. By having all of these resources available in one place, you're meeting the social, medical, behavioral, and practical needs that can make it difficult for people to walk that journey through recovery. I want to thank everyone here for your support, dedication, and courage in addressing complex issues and working together to increase access to care and treatment options for individuals in Manchester. Thank you. now my pleasure to introduce Dick Anagnos.
Thank you, Mayor. So believe it or not, I signed the purchase and sale agreement on this building October 26, 2015. So I'll show you how long it's been taken, how much effort has gone into making this project a success. However, this is truly a Manchester success because this is Manchester. When Manchester gets things done, it's all about collaboration. So they've talked about Andy and I in the private sector. Yes, Andy and I came from the private sector, and we managed the construction, and we got this done, but it wasn't without the help of the entire city of Manchester. The fire department played a role. The police department played a role. The DPW played a role. The planning department played a role. The building department played a role. So just about every department in Manchester should be congratulated for the success because they all played a role in it. And then you move on to the nonprofits. When Andy originally approached me with the idea of a recovery center in Manchester, we were thinking about a small place that was 1,000 to 2,000 feet. And believe it or not, it was my son Alexander who stood in and said, no, we need a lot more than that. What happens if they have a mental health issue? What happens if they have a medical issue? Okay, and then it started, the project began growing from there, and then Maureen's brilliance came to the table between the housing and the outpatient, intensive outpatient services and everything else. And all of a sudden we had a big project and we had all of these services co-located together, and then comes in the cooperation from the nonprofits, CMC, Hope for Recovery, Bill Ryder's group, Manchester Mental Health, Families in Transition, New Horizons. So if you look at this project as an overall success, there were many, many, many hands that put a lot of hours and a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money. I have to bring in New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority, the city of Manchester, that all have funds in this building, that have all put their money and their effort where their mouth is in order for this to become such a tremendous success. So this isn't Dick and Andy, this isn't Families in Transition, New Horizons. This is really a success for the entire city of Manchester and everybody that had a hand in it. So thank you very much, and I'd like to bring up Bill Ryder from the Manchester Mental Health Center.
Thank you very much, Dick, and thanks to everyone here. Carrie Anderson, a journalist and reporter formerly with ABC News, is quoted as saying that when two or more people get together for the good of others, that those people who do that are called opportunity makers. And everyone under this tent and parading outside this tent, and people like Dick and Andy are creating opportunities for others, and what a great thing that is. My name is Bill Ryder, and I'm the president and CEO of the Mental Health Center. And I want to tell you why the Mental Health Center got involved in this project. It's really boils down to two things. First of all, we totally believed in the vision of Mayor Gatzis and the aldermen at that time for this project, and we wanted to support the city. And secondly, our guiding values and principles, one of them, and these guiding values were actually developed under the leadership of Peter Janelle going back to 1995. And it says that the Mental Health Center shall pursue partnerships that create a healthy community. And how could you not live up to a principle like that and not join into a project like this? So it was in December of 2016 that we made the decision to not house our mobile crisis response team at 401 Cypress, which would have been the easy thing to do. It was to join with other nonprofits for the good of the community. And so I called Dick actually in December of 2016 and asked him about the possibility of getting in on the building. And he created the path for us. The Mental Health Center invested $1.1 million to fit up the space on the 4th floor, which you'll get an opportunity to see later today. And annually we spend $2.2 million in order to operate the mobile crisis response team. Just to tell you a little bit about what's happening with the mobile crisis team, and I'd like to point out there are some people around here in red jackets. I'd like you to raise your hands who are our mobile team. And the leader of our team right here is Jessica LaChance. Since the 1st of January 2017, which is about a year and 2.5 years we've been in operation, we've provided over 30,000 services. Of those 30,000 services, over 2/3 of those individuals get follow-ups by the mobile crisis team. We've seen people as young as 4 years old. Think about that, 4 years old in crisis, and as old as 96. 2,076 people have been referred to us by the Manchester Police Department, and yet out of all of those contacts, 94% of those individuals are diverted from the emergency rooms of Catholic Medical Center and CMC, which is a really good thing because we keep people out of that environment and we keep them in their home environment. There's a lot of gratitude that needs to be expressed by the people of the Mental Health Center of Greater Manchester, and there's really four key folks to thank here. One is the encouragement of Maureen Beauregard. After I talked to Dick, I talked to Maureen and I said, do you think that this is a good thing? And she said, hell yes, this is a good thing. The second person that I talked to was the director of the health department at that time, and that was Tim Susi. And I asked Tim if he thought this was a good thing, and he had formerly been on the board of the Mental Health Center. And he says, yes, it's a good thing. I trust their counsel, we went forward. The second folks that I would really like to thank, and I don't think he's here today, but Michael Castagna of the Castagna Consulting Group helped us work on a big engineering project such as this. And I also have to thank Bob Bro and Scott Schubert. Bob Bro is of A.W. Rose, and Scott Schubert is with Aganos Companies, who helped shepherd us through a very quick turnaround. We were in the building by June 30th of 2017, so within 6 months we were in, thanks to their amazing work. And most importantly, I would like to extend thanks to the Manchester Police Department, who embed themselves with us every night from 5 to midnight, and 365 days a year. Calls come into dispatch. Our officer who's on duty with us can hear those dispatch calls, intervene with the dispatcher to say this is a job for the mobile crisis team. And we go out and we've saved countless hours of patrol officers' time that can be used for other police work. It was really the vision of Dave Mara, who I think is here in the back, to encourage us at that time. Dave was on our board of directors. And then, of course, Nick Willard, who embraced this totally, and now Carlo Capagna. In addition to working with us, the police department has been willing to undergo training with us, and we have 57 officers who've gone through training on crisis intervention training, which is designed to de-escalate the situation, and as Nick Willard used to say, put the power of compassion into policing. So with that, I couldn't be more grateful, and I'm ever grateful that our partners at Catholic Medical Center have joined in, and I'd like to welcome up Alex Walker.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Alex Walker, the Chief Operating Officer at Catholic Medical Center, and I can't tell you how proud I am on behalf of everybody at Catholic Medical Center that we're here today as a part of this building. We're the rookie in the building, so we cut the ribbon on our space just a few weeks ago, and it's been a long journey to get here. But nothing exemplifies the mission of Catholic Medical Center like this space. Our mission is health, healing, and hope, and this space absolutely exemplifies what that is all about. And you're going to get a chance to take a look at that space. It is as nice as any clinical space we have in the entire organization at Catholic Medical Center. As nice as anything at the New England Heart and Vascular Institute, as nice as any of our primary care practices. And how great is that, to be able to offer world-class clinical space and clinical providers for a population that really, really, really needs our help. So we could not be more proud, and I want to thank Dick and Andy for having the vision and generating the enthusiasm for us. And when I called Maureen to say, hey, do we need to be part of this? And she said, hell yeah, you need to be part of it. And it didn't take long before Dick put the hammer on us and we signed a P&S. And we've invested close to $1 million in terms of the fit up of the space. And like I said, we could not be prouder of how nice that space is and what a great atmosphere for folks to come in and receive the services that they need. So on behalf of Dr. Joe Pepe, who could not be here today, but the entire staff at CMC. We are so happy to be here. Thank you all for coming out today. And Keith Howard from Hope for New Hampshire Recovery is next up.
So I was not here when everything was being done. So I'm just going to tell you a story. It's a story about treatment, it's about recovery, and it's about how this building's dream is coming true. So Hope for New Hampshire is a peer center. At Hope, all the staff is in recovery. In my case, it's opiates and booze. I drank my way out of a career and into a festival of feces. That's a laugh line. Into a festival of feces. Come on, get with this, please. So did a woman I'll call Mary. I was a special ed director and principal. Mary was a teacher. Mary lived upstairs at Families in Transition with other women early in recovery. Mary used Fit's clinical support, the therapy, the case management, the therapeutic milieu. Mary also became active at Hope, engaging 12-step and smart recovery, attending social sober events, and developing a special relationship with Carla, one of our recovery coaches. Like me, Mary couldn't return to her professional career, at least not yet. She took an entry-level job. My get-well job was at an Office Depot. Mary completed her program at Fit and moved out, receiving a promotion at work. Mary continues meetings at Hope, maintaining her relationships with folks in recovery, fighting the good fight. Fit gave Mary a safe place to take advantage of its clinical model. Hope continues to offer Mary a safe place for her recovery. Just as I'm here today as Hope's executive director, I believe with every fiber of my being, Mary can return to using the gifts given her by her Creator. But even if she doesn't, I know she can stay sober thanks to Fit, thanks to Hope, thanks to the miracle of recovery, and thanks to the Manchester Treatment and Recovery Center. Thanks. And now I'd like to introduce Stephanie Savard, who was here and has stories about the past.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Stephanie Savard, Chief Operating Officer of Families in Transition New Horizons. Welcome today. When we jumped on to this partnership, and when Maureen gives an idea, you're hearing the ripple, right? Everyone says, yep, we're gonna sign on, yep, we're gonna sign on. It's easy to say when something is needed in a community, when you start to watch a trend. And so we were watching the rise of substance use and mental health disorders in our community and wanted to do something in our agency to address that. We already had a program that needed to be expanded, and so this opportunity allowed us to do that. Our intensive outpatient program and our outpatient services, we needed to double it in size. We needed to be able to respond to what our community needed. So having more clinical office space, expanding our staffing, meeting rooms, we were able to already meet that need. We call ourselves barrier busters because we provide childcare for parents who need that while they're in treatment. We'll have transportation to get you to treatment every day. There's no excuse to not be in our doors. And so this facility has already, just in 6 months of this year, provided those services to 250 women and men in our community. The expansion allowed us to expand to men. A lot of people knew that we were focused on women, and we were able to now provide these services, both treatment, outpatient, and intensive outpatient, to men in our community as well. Another exciting part of this space is our transitional living program, as well as our recovery housing for moms with kids. There was no service for moms with kids in recovery housing in our community, and this was an opportunity to say it was a need, and we needed to fill that gap. I want to give a shout out to all the staff that make the magic happen every day in this facility. We have staff in our transitional living program, overseen by Amy Pettengill, our recovery housing by Kristen McGuigan, and our intensive outpatient programming by Sarah Bernier, and all the team that makes it happen every day. So kudos to all you out in the audience, because you're making difference in many people's lives. The other thing that we need to make sure to say thank you for, because each person had a hand in this partnership: Dick Anagnos, Andy Cruz, the City of Manchester, Community Development Finance Authority, New Hampshire Housing, and all of the other fundings who helped us make this expansion happen for our agency. We thank you for that. It's my pleasure now to introduce Katie Easterly Martley from the Community Development Finance Authority.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I'm glad to be here. On behalf of our board of directors and our staff, I want to congratulate all of you on the completion of this incredible project. The Community Development Finance Authority invests resources into projects where partners, nonprofit partners, and businesses are coming together to strengthen community. And as everybody said before me, this is a community need that was identified and a strength of partners that came together to really make this project happen. And like all of you, I've too been touched personally by this crisis. And it's by that personal friend that I've really seen the strength of this facility. As I was visiting the Hope for New Hampshire Center about a year ago or so, and just seeing the incredible services provided there, I saw some beautiful artwork on the walls. And I thought I recognized that artwork, and then I realized that a good friend of mine had told me recently that at a very low point in his life, he was able to create art again and put that art up in a public place, surrounded by his peers, and that experience allowed him to really continue in his recovery and to be healthy again. And not only is it that organization, but the Greater Manchester Health Center has been his go-to provider and his stability for a decade, as they've ensured that he has safe housing and is able to be successful. So this partnership really strengthens our community, strengthens Manchester, and allows people like this individual to really find those pieces that they need to continue to lead healthy lives. And I'm so happy that the Community Development Finance Authority has been a small piece of this puzzle. We were able to provide financing that really was public financing to support the lots of private financing that was put into this project, bringing those two pieces together for this project. So I'm really happy to be here and look forward to seeing the balance of the building with all of you. And I have the pleasure of introducing my friend and colleague, Rob Dappis from the New Hampshire Housing Authority.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an incredible honor to be here, really. At New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority, we finance a wide variety of projects and types of projects, and invariably the projects that FIT is involved with creating are among the most meaningful. It's especially exciting to come as these projects are being completed, because they're always built to such a standard and designed to such a standard that, as Alex was saying, anybody would be proud to call this place home. I feel as though it's impossible to visit a FIT property and then leave without feeling some sense of hope and optimism. So I want to extend my thanks for allowing us to be a part of this project, and my congratulations on behalf of our board, our staff, and our executive director, Dean Kristen, to all the partners and funders and supporters of this project for making it a reality. The funds that New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority put into this project came from an appropriation to the State Affordable Housing Fund that was specifically for people, to create housing opportunities for people who were struggling with substance use disorders. So I also want to acknowledge and thank the lawmakers who had the courage and foresight to make that possible. And I feel as though I'd be remiss if I did not also mention our gratitude to Maureen for her leadership and courage in leading this remarkable organization and creating so many homes over the past several decades. We wish you the best in your new endeavor, and we're glad that you're not going too far. I also want to say, as somebody who's worked on the difficult details of creating projects like this with the staff at Families in Transition, that from top to bottom, the team is first class, and those of us who know the organization well have no doubts about the team's ability to carry this organization and its mission forward into the next several decades. Finally, I want to honor the men and women and families who come through the doors of this facility as clients and residents, I think anyone who's seen addiction up close knows that there is no harder task than recovery. And so I just want to say that we salute you and we're proud of you. And we at New Hampshire Housing are committed to standing by you and continuing to support you and others in recovery. Thank you.
Okay, we're coming up on the end of the program. When we decided to enter into this project, it was absolutely exciting to think that we could create something that is so needed. And Meg Shea, who is head of all of our clinical and supportive services, really provided guidance and advocacy a lot in making sure that that we're doing things that are needed and doing things in the right way. And for that, Meg, I'm really appreciative of you. Thank you. It's always amazing to be at the end of a project. There's the beginning where it's like super exciting, then there's the middle where it's like, holy cow, will this ever end? And then there's the end with days like this. And it's all worth it. And all the projects that we've done at FIT have all been an absolute joy. And I appreciate everything that the community has done for this project and all the others that we've completed. We house a lot of people, and I'm excited for you to really take a walk through this one and see the quality of what people get to live in. We always say that if I don't want to live in it, we're not going to build it. So as you walk through this, you can imagine yourself living here, and for that we are very, very proud. With that, we are asking that all the speakers go to the front of the building so that there can be a photo taken. And then for those who would like a tour of the building, we have guided tours. I don't know where they are. On here it says I do know where they are, but I really have no idea where they are. So I hope that doesn't result in mayhem. I think they have like signs that say guided tour. At least I hope they do. I remember that at one of our events, we had an auction, and I said, everybody go to the front and check out. And everybody hated me at FIT for like the next month. So with that, tours will happen, and I'll see all the speakers out front. Thank you.
Razor blade.